Hello everyone. In today's video we're going to go over how to introduce the counter canter. And the counter canter to me is really a test of the quality of your canter. So as you kind of test out your counter canter and start to try to introduce it, if it falls apart, you have to go back and make the quality of your canter better. And I see this a lot where people are just like, oh, I need to do counter canter, and they just try and drill it over and over again, and it gets worse and worse because the counter canter tests the quality of your canter. So I'm going to show you today how to introduce it and kind of what you need to have established before you start working on the counter canter. So with this horse, I've already warmed him up. I've done quite a few trot canter trot transitions. So the trot canter trot transitions are a big prerequisite for your counter canter, and those transitions need to be really well done. I'll just do a few just to show you. So for the trot canter trot transitions, you really want these transitions to be very fluid and flawless and like simple. Like it shouldn't be like you have to monkey with your horse a lot. It should be just that you can go from trot, sit a few steps, canter, get right into that canter rhythm, keep that connection, a little more jump here, rhythm, canter, 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 and then transition to trot, 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 rhythm, contact, rhythm, contact, rhythm, contact, and back to canter. So these transitions have to be like really simple on both leads before you start the counter canter. Now the other thing that I like to introduce before I start counter canter is the walk to canter transition. The reason for this is that the walk to canter transition teaches your horse to sit. So you could see how in that walk to canter transition, he really had to lower his croup and come under behind in order to go from walk to canter. So when your horse is a little more collected and under behind and organized in their body, it's going to help you with your counter canter. Good boy. Good boy. So once you know that your trot canter transitions, your walk canter transitions are good, then you can start playing a little with the counter canter. So I'm going to go straight ahead. I'm going to think about organizing my horse a little from inside leg to outside rein. Now the first thing that I'm going to do to introduce the counter canter is I'm just going to basically turn my horse from the rail to the quarter line and then practice going straight on the quarter line. So this requires a lot of control from your inside leg to your outside rein, and it's harder than I just made it look. So you're gonna start out by just going from the rail to the quarter line, control the canter here, and then if this is good, then you can go gradually back out to the rail at M. And then little by little, like if your horse is staying balanced like he is, you notice how the canter is staying exactly the same, the frame is staying exactly the same. Then you can start where you make your loop a little steeper. So like there I went all the way to the center line and now back out to K, and that's how you have a counter canter loop like that in first level test 3. So I'm going to change direction and go the other way. If something happens, like let's say if your horse breaks out of the canter or they rush, oh, that was a terrible transition. So I probably need to practice a few canter transitions on the right before I start my counter canter, because like right now I feel my horse is a little croup high on the forehand, rushing. So I'm just gonna go trot and walk, get his croup a little more under him, and then back into canter. Like I'm showing you, it's really important that your canter is really well balanced and that you have a certain level of collection before you start your counter canter. Canter. Good boy. Good boy. Now my canter feels better. My horse is lighter. He's more on the hind leg. So now I'm gonna start with just on the rail, shoulder 4, and then turn off the rail and shoulder 4 on the inside track. Good boy. The right lead is much harder for this horse. Let me know in the comments if your horse has a harder time with counter canter on one lead versus the other. It's totally normal for your horse to have more trouble on one lead. The counter canter is really a test of balance and straightness. Good boy. So if at any time my horse like falls apart, like he breaks or he gets strong or he gets too fast in the canter, you need to go back to your circle and just go back to either trot canter trot transitions or walk canter walk transitions, because your counter canter is not going to improve by just doing it over and over again. You have to go back and make your canter better so that your horse can do the counter canter. So I'm going to challenge him and see if we can do a full 20-meter half circle in counter canter. I've never done this with him before in the dressage court. I've done it like in a big jump arena, but we'll see how it works out. So before I go into the counter canter here on the circle, I'm really saying, come on, like get under behind and get him really collected and balanced in the canter. And now I'm going to see if I can take this canter all the way across the diagonal and hold it on the half circle. I'm focusing on the balance, the collection. My outside leg is back and I'm sitting on my right seat bone. See how my left leg is back and I'm sitting on my right seat bone. That's super important. Good boy. Good boy. So that was really good. You noticed how he kept like the exact same rhythm and frame and balance. I had to help him with some half halts, and that's where, oh, good boy. That's where if you're an experienced rider and you've ridden a lot of horses, you know how to support your horse through the counter canter. So like there, I was able to really give him some half halts and keep myself in the right position and him in the right position so that he could do the counter canter. So now that I did it to the right, I'm going to do it to the left. Same thing again. I want to really focus that, hey, don't pull on me. There where he's pulling, I'm pushing him a little sideways. Good boy. Get him round. So that walk canter transition wasn't good because he did like 2 big trot steps and then he cantered. So good boy. That was way better. The first stride was canter. And you really have to be picky about those transitions because they are what prepare your horse for the counter canter. So like now he's more under, he's more through behind. And I'm going to take this into the counter canter. Come on, keep going. I had to add a little leg there because he got a little stuck as I made that turn. It's important on this loop that you make it nice and smooth. Keep going, good boy. So there he almost broke. And you saw how I had to basically ask for canter again and be like, come on, keep cantering, because he kind of held his breath. He got a little tight. He wasn't sure what he should do. So I'm just gonna go do it one more time. I'm thinking about a little shoulder 4 here, getting him more aligned from left leg to right rein. If he had broke the last time, I probably would have gone to the walk, turned to the left, and gone back to walk canter walk transitions. I know, come on, buddy. Good. So you can hear how he's like holding his breath and sneezing a lot. And that's just a sign that this is hard for him and that he has a little tension about doing the counter canter. Good boy. So I just want to like reward him, pet him, give him a nice stretch and a walk break because that was hard for him. Good boy. Good boy. Oh. Oh. Good boy. So I hope that gives you some tips. Again, probably the progression that I went through in this video will take you a few months at least. And like with him, I started doing like the shallow loop serpentines a couple of months ago, and then just really working on my canter transition. So don't expect like to get this all done in one ride. It's gonna take you a few months. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe. I post a new dressage video every Wednesday. Also in the description below, there's a mini course on rider position. So I really hope that this helped you out with counter canter and your horse. Let me know in the comments if you're planning on showing this year, and which lead is harder for your horse. I'm interested to know. So thanks for watching my channel, and I really hope this helps you. Good boy.